and Major Hector Quintanilla is now the chief of Project Blue Book. Major Quintanilla, what are the objectives of Project Blue Book?
As I'm standing there, I kind of, it's a very hard feeling to describe. Skinny arms, skinny legs, but I could only see about half of this thing.
It was just an eye-opening experience. There was a ship coming over the house.
It was like a white light sort of thing that we saw. It was coming out of a cloud.
What is up, everybody? How you guys doing today? Man, it's gonna be a cool one today. All right, man. So, I hope you guys are watching me right now. Here, we're live on Rumble. We are live on YouTube, and yes, we are live on Facebook as well. They actually let me put it on there. What? How did that happen, man? There's I had some past podcasts, people were saying, well, you got to say this, you got to say that, you got to do this, and we try to do the best we can. But, and I'm trying to get all this information out for you guys today. I do have a couple of videos and some photos to show you new stuff that just came out, man. So if you're watching today, you're watching us on all these video platforms. We are live. We're actually live on our audio as well. So you can catch our audio podcast on Spreaker live right now. After that, it'll be on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google, Ask Alexa. She'll even give you some Alien Strand podcast, and that's the good stuff, man. That's the way to get in the information and the disclosure, because that's what it's about. It's about disclosure, man. Getting it out there to you guys as much as possible. I appreciate, like I said, all you guys watching the middle and the middle part 2, and going to our YouTube channels and just kind of subscribing there as well. It's the film is doing great on Amazon Prime. The middle part 2 is since it's out, right? And I just have to say that it was an amazing thing to do. So I've been putting out like a lot of stuff on my Facebook, the process, and I'm going to be doing a behind the scenes as well, right? Of how we filmed, where we went, and all kinds of stuff. If you guys are interested in that kind of stuff, you will find it on YouTube, and you'll probably find it here on Rumble as well. All right. So you're watching on Twitch as well. If you guys are out there, thank you. Facebook is out there. I see you guys. If you want to chat, bring it on down, and you'll see it come up there right here on that side. It'll come out on that side. All right, man. It's just been crazy. we've had this hurricane that just went by, Burl, and I live down here in South Texas, right? So it would look like it was going to hit us direct, and it just went whoop, went straight up, and it hit Houston, unfortunately, but even though you're prepared, you can never be over prepared. It's like you don't know what these winds are going to do, man. And it's I am a true believer of this. Now, I've sat through like 4 or 5 hurricanes, big ones too, and it gets ugly. It feels awful for like 6, 7, sometimes 10 hours, and it feels like your house is gonna fly off, And all I can say is to folks out there, if you live in these coastal areas and stuff where there's hurricanes, typhoons, all that good stuff that comes along with it, my best advice to you guys: prune your trees, please. You know why? Because when they're all bushy like that, no air goes through them, right? No air. But when they're like this, there's air flowing through it, and they're now breaking, falling over, and knocking over power lines. Hello, that's the truth. Prune your trees, man. That's all I can tell you. I do that like religiously where we're at, only because of that, and during this time of season. Now, I do have a lot of stuff that I'm going to show you today, and it has a lot to do with. I'm going to show you some Bigfoot stuff, and I'm going to show you a lot of UFO stuff, man, because it came out today, that the things that I was seeing on Bigfoot, right, and it's kind of strange how people they kind of throw it like, well, did these creatures really live during our times or before our times? It even says it in a lot of these books and everything like that, right? That's involved with it, right? And of course the historical books, things like that. And we always try to put it off to yes, no, maybe it did happen or didn't happen. And I'm a true believer that it did happen, man. That these Nephilim, these things that were walking the earth, call them what they will. The Sumerian texts, these Anunnaki huge things were walking around our, the land before we even had anything, right? It was kind of like strange, but and it always gets me thinking all the time, like, how was it, or did this stuff pass on through these generations as time went on through the millennia? Like in the Anunnaki, they call it a shar, which is 3,600 years, right? That was their time, the way they did 1 shar, 2 shar, and it says that in their books, and that's just time, right? That went by. So who's to say that maybe a lot of these things maybe survived out there, and it's a possibility that Bigfoot is a real entity of some sort, right? Hey, why not, right? I mean, we see everything else. Why not be a Bigfoot out there, and it's just one of those things that, I'm going to read a little something to you. I'm going to put up on screen so you guys can see where I'm getting at here real quick. So, in this little thing right here, it says in 79 AD, Roman historian Josephus Flavius wrote that in the last of the race of the Egyptian giants did live up to the 13th century BC, right, during the reign of the King Joshua. He further wrote that they had huge bodies, and and their faces were unlike ordinary humans. That it was like an amazing to look at them, right? It was scary to listen to their loud voice, which sounded like a lion's roar, right? And that is what we hear a lot of times, kind of like put this together in a sense. So we kind of hear a little bit of that when, people are out in the woods. They're getting a lot of these sounds of this humongous roar of a beast of some sort that's out there, right? That's making these noises, right? I mean, why not it be a part of that generation? But the thing that makes us different is that these creatures, or whatever they are basically they're more hairy than anything else. Their shoulders are massive, right? And that's what makes that part different. I'm going to show you this picture, picture of this baby Bigfoot, or a small Bigfoot, like a junior Bigfoot that was caught out there on a camera. You might guys say, that's somebody in a suit, but check this out, and I'm just gonna throw it on screen right now so you guys can see. So somebody took a photo. There's some deers kind of looking that way. Looks like something walking in the woods. And as the camera zooms in, you can see some kind of creature in the background that's walking. This is a daytime photo. Now, as you see it blown up there, look at the face, how it kind of looks. The thing that caught my attention the most was the fingers on this thing, right? Look how long these fingers are on this junior. I'm going to call it a Sasquatch, or even if it's a little kid, the eyes kind of, make it different, where it's wide. The Bigfoot always has like a wider eye, where their eye sockets are a little bit wider than where the nose is. This is how you know how a lot of people, they'll say, well, it's somebody in a suit, maybe, or maybe not. But what you're seeing here is the finger length, what I was trying to show you. Now, could somebody done that? Maybe. But it just kind of looks strange, and the deer were kind of freaking out there on that photo. Now, I'm going to bring you to this next, to another photo that somebody took out there on their, they saw something looking at them through the behind a tree. Now, this next photo is going to be like a really close image of a possibly a Bigfoot. And I'm going to show you why I was explaining to you about the eyes and thing like that, right? So as you look at this photo, now look, it's the tree, look to the bottom right, look how wide the eyes are. Look how dark and black the eyes are. They're not really close together like a regular human being. It's a little bit wider, and it's a night shot for people out there in audio world. It's what you're looking at here is I think it's a pretty good Bigfoot, because we always look at the eyes are always black, solidly black, man. And how do we like distinguish that of what it is, right, or what it's not, and this is the part that always gets me, is how dark the eyes are of these creatures of walking around out there, right? Are they related to the Bigfoot? I mean, to the giants out there? Maybe, man. Maybe where they're a correlation of that species, right? Of the giants that kind of like are out there, right? I think they are, and because why do we see so many of these things? I mean, there's even a Bigfoot database that I follow. I don't know if you guys really follow those kind of things. I do. And the reason I do is because, I want to get as much intel information as possible on these things, because, hey man, we always try to figure out what we're looking at. And there's a website out there. I think it's called BFRO.net. All right. So if you can, guys, go there if you can. It's BFRO.net. This is a Bigfoot reporting site, right, where you can actually see these Bigfoot reports of what recently happened or occurred, right? And there was a recent one here in 2024, in over there by the Washington area. I talk to Terry Lynch all the time. He says, man, Washington is such a hot spot for Sasquatch, and that's in the western part of the United States, and he says there's just so many sightings that what people see out there. And it's crazy how, these people saw this Bigfoot. If you go to that website, you'll see what I'm talking about. It'll say 2024's recent sightings, right? And it pretty much just tells you that, it says it was, these people were saying it had dark hair all over it while it moved, while I was looking at it. Then it turned and crouched down and it looked at me, right? These people are explaining what they saw out there that was actually kind of following them, right? And this reporter that got the report was saying that this is what they told her over the phone. She said she and her friend were walking along the Little Rock Road southwest party of the exercise looking for an aluminum cans. When they went to the side of the road, they saw this creature on the east side of the road. I said her friend was on the opposite side of the road too. And they said they both heard something wrestling and they looked where they were pointing at and they saw this dark form, right? They said it was about 20 to 30 feet away from them, right? And at that point, they just said, she asked them, well, how tall do you think this thing was? They said, man, when it stood up, it was about 9 feet tall, right? And you can get all that information from that website. I just thought that I brought that to your attention because, it's strange how, we're we're making out and we're seeing these things more and more, and there is reporting sites where you can go and check those out, right? And so we're going to get out of that topic real quick, but we're going to talk about extraterrestrials in contact, right? And what they are. Now, don't forget, tomorrow we're going to have this podcast. I believe it's 5:30, 6 o'clock here on Rumble. I'm going to have a guest on, Jessica Tisby. She's out of Canada. We're going to show her videos and photos. Go check that out tomorrow, all right? Which is Friday afternoon. And that'll be live here on this podcast. I hope you go check it out because, you don't have to listen to me all the damn time, which is okay, because I love giving the information as possible, right? So let's get into the States a little bit closer to where my location is, right? So this video was taken in Fort Hood, right? Around the Fort Hood area here in Texas. And this had just sneaked out a couple of days ago. I saw it pop up and I was like, wow. It's kind of hard to tell what it is, but as I started zooming in and did my own analysis, as much as you guys can do it as well, pretty simple. It's not hard if you got an iPhone or whatever phone. So let me go ahead and show you the video. This is a video of a guy shooting. He's standing out on a cliff ledge, and he's taking this video of something he sees in the sky. Now watch this. So you see it kind of going across. It's at a distance, but you're seeing it in the visual lower part of the actual horizon, right? So and I thought to myself, man, that's kind of hard to tell what it is, but it looks like a bunch of lights just came to light, and then it kind of hid behind the cloud, and then it lit up. I didn't want to play too much more because this guy's got this Poison playing in the background, which is a great band, by the way. But they'll flag me for, oh, you can't put that. You can't put that. Anyway, so I slowed the video down, and when I zoomed in to the analysis that I did on this, the actual, it looks like a craft that it's spinning, right? It's going to be spinning. So take a look at this, and then I'll kind of go with you here. So, as you start the video here, no sound or nothing, but I'm actually zoomed in quite a bit, maybe 10, 20, maybe 30 fold. And what I'm doing here is I'm kind of going back and forth on what this person actually saw in the sky. And as you see here, there's a rotation, and I'm showing you there's a little bit of a rotation right there. See that? There's a little bit of a rotation. It's kind of spinning counterclockwise as it's appearing up in the sky. Now, can it be birds? It looks like lights to me, and they're all spinning in that one motion. And what I'm getting out of this, that it was possibly a cloaked ship up there that, turned it off, or it just really couldn't hide up there, or maybe some atmospheric changes were happening up in the sky, to where it couldn't really hide as much anymore, right? And that's what, I love breaking these videos down for the reason of that, because you can do that and show exactly what's going on. Now, I saw this podcast. I love Joe Rogan, and I saw the Joe Rogan podcast here. It was an older recording. It was recorded in 2023. I think the guy's name is Weinstein. He's a math. He does quantum mathematics, right? And so he was explaining. Joe Rogan was trying to tell him, "Hey, man, do you believe in UFOs?" And he's like, "Well." And he went a long way, about a good hour and a half, explaining it, of what he thought. But what his conclusion came down to was that there is not enough concrete evidence to say it is or it isn't, right? In other words, he's saying since the beginning of UFO report writing, right, since we've been doing it since the 40s and 50s, it's all been hearsay, right? So you have to go with the assumptions of everything that's happening is through a scientist that does this, right? And they have to prove the theoretical ways of figuring out these mathematical equations to where it's going to calculate with mass, right? Let's just say this is mass, some sort of a mass. It's going to have some kind of calculation around it, right? Everything has a calculation with his theories. When he doesn't have this in his hand or anything like that, he can't really say yes and he can't say no, which is, I understand, 150%. And his main point was that he says that the majority of the people out here in UFO world or whatever we're doing assumptions, which is I've been saying that for a while. We're just get to assume, but the only difference between what I'm doing and what these scientists or these guys that are like skilled, right, and they've been doing it all their lives, is that they like the concrete evidence. And what we do here on Alien Strand Podcast is we show the concrete evidence. He says, you can throw me videos all day and I'll tell you you're full of crap, right? There's people out there like that. Scientists are all like that. Majority of them are going to be atheists as well. That's just the realism of what that is, right? Because science is their world, right? Everything revolves around science. So does UFOs. But he didn't say that they didn't exist. He said, we still might have technology, which is the big brothers out there, in the complex. They might have this stuff to where, we're doing this, or we know how to get there already, right? So I'm going to show you this video. This one came out of in Spain in 2015. This was something that was floating up in the sky, right? And they happened to use stabilization and really narrow it down to where the people shake a lot. When you zoom and you're constantly zooming in, you're going to get this shake effect, right? So you have to put it into perspective to these programs to where we can actually stabilize and center the object, right? Out there in audio land, you're seeing this in the broad daylight. 2015 Spain, this UFO that looks like half of a walnut, an acorn shell or so, but there's a glass in front of it, right? And you can kind of see some sort of a being inside this thing. There's something in there, man. There's something in there. It's just hard to tell. Now, like I was talking about before, the evidence that we need, that's part of evidence, right? Because that was been floating around since 2015. I've seen a lot of videos of that one, and what this one really separates itself from what it is, right? Now, I always tell you that we always focus on the craft. We never focus on the extraterrestrial that's inside this craft, right? And there is one. There has to be one, especially in those. So there was this video that just surfaced about a day and a half ago. I don't know if you guys have seen this. This freaking blew me away. And what you're about to see, and out there in audio land, you probably won't hear anything, but I'll explain it as it goes. You're going to see a beam of light hit in front of this street, really close camera angle. And you see something like appear and then disappear, right? Like in a beam of light. And I'm going to break it down for you so you can actually see what it was, right? And this is what I like doing. I do this. I do analysis just like everybody else on Alien Strand Disclosure Project. We all do analysis. And once you get into it, it's kind of hard to stop, not to analyze things, because you don't want people to say, you're blowing smoke or you're full of crap or whatever, right? We don't want that. We want to make sure that what we're seeing, we want you to see, right? So here, let me show you the video. Now you can see something just flash and it goes straight down, it disappears, and then I believe it comes back up. Right? I zoom in and go in just a little bit further, right? So, now could you see very much that's happening there at that angle? Probably not, right? It's like you're saying, well, maybe a car went by, you know, the flashlight went down, whatever. And maybe, right? Maybe. So I zoomed in a little bit, right? Out there in audio land, you know, just, it's a beam of light just coming down at night in front of a home. So, and here's the one that I started breaking down. So what I did was I slowed it down. I zoomed into it so that we can make out exactly what we're seeing come straight down, right? This is what's appeared and then made its way down, right? So in the video, I'm just kind of zooming in and I grabbed it right when it was appearing, right? And I was like, well, you know, what am I seeing here? You know, what exactly am I seeing here? And it looks strange as it is. As I zoom in really super close to it, it looks like a light, right? Possibly, but it kind of it looks like a sort of a head of something, right? I don't know, maybe a ghost or whatever. And that's exactly what it looked like to me. And I'm going to show you this as well, because I'm going to show you how I made that image. I did it with my iPhone. Okay. Anybody can do this. And this is just for you to figure out exactly what you're seeing in that image, right? So, as you can see the image here, I'm just kind of messing with the brilliance, you know, messing with the highlights, you know, bringing them up and down, giving it more of a contrasty, darker shade, right? And look what starts coming out of it. Right? So here, start adding black point to it, you know, giving it a darker contrast, a little bit more set, you know. And then once you start bringing in just a tad bit of sharpness, don't put too much because you do a little pixelate, and then a little bit of definition, right? And you get this image of what appeared and then what made its way down. And you see the before and the after, right? Before and the after that I'm showing you of what this thing looks like to me. And it might just seem certain things that you guys aren't seeing, you know, but how does this light appear? And then it makes this shape. And to me, it looks almost like an extraterrestrial with large eyes on it, right? That's what it looks like to me. You know, and that's the strangeness of what that is, you know, of how I did that. And I did that with my cell phone, mind you. And there's other programs where you can actually, you know, fix it a little bit better to show exactly what you're seeing. Now we're seeing the extraterrestrials, right? Of what is out there. Because I call this silent, right? Because these things are silent out there. They're not making any noise. These things are hovering above us. You know, they're noiseless. And this is more like a silent proof of what you're seeing as I break these images down. Now, there's a friend of mine. His name is Dave Monday. We've talked about him before. Me and Terry Lynch on these podcasts before, right? He's out of the United Kingdom. And he lives in Ryde, Portsmouth, in the United Kingdom, right? This guy, he's constantly got his boots on the ground, taking videos, photos, taking long walks at night, trying to get, you know, because he ever since he's seen these things, he can't unsee it anymore. Got himself a professional camera, started taking photos, right? Gets a lot of orbs, a lot of craft from a distance, you know, And he shared these images on Facebook, and I was like, well, let me check these out, right? And so when I looked at it, I'm gonna put it on right now. You know, he's actually showing you this. It looks like an orb, but it's not. And this is the back of his camera, because he hasn't uploaded any of this to Facebook. This is just on his SD card, right? And once I did the same process as you saw me do with the alien head, with that light coming down, I did the exact same process here, right? As far as fixing the colors, contrast, things like that, right? And because he says, I've been seeing this thing on the ground at night, and I don't know what it is. But to me, when you're looking at this picture here, it looks like a white orb, broad daylight in the brush, and there's a door with somebody or something standing in the doorway. And it's not an orb. It's an actual craft, because it does have texture. So if you kind of look at that just for a minute, I'm showing you the texture there. There's texture in it. So this orb has, or craft has landed. And what he got with his zoom, he's probably got a pretty nice zoom camera. He was able to take this photo. This is what I got out of it, right? And I thought it was great disclosure there, because, as much as we don't want to admit, and when I talked about, these scientists, that they want proof, hard proof. And it's right there in front of us, man. The problem is we can't get a hold of it physically, right? And these are people from all over the world that are friends of mine and friends of Alien Transclosure Project, and everybody that do these photos, and they share it out there, and a lot of times they don't get no results back, because people are like, well, whatever, no, man, you really need to think about this. It's deeper, and it's deeper than we know, right? Just like the Bigfoot thing. It goes back a long way, right? And the reason I'm bringing this to you on forefront today is because with my podcast tomorrow with Jessica, she's going to bring a lot of this to the forefront as well. You're going to hear it from her own mouth. You're going to see her videos. You're going to see all of it, right? And people's testimonies and listening to their emotions and listening to them talk about these things to where it bothers them. That's like I told you about the films. They all have this same characteristic, man. It's like it affected them in a certain way, right? So this is why I put these films out, because you need to see the realism of what it is. I got one more for you, right, before we leave today. And thank you guys, by the way, for watching the show today. I hope you guys, give me a thumbs up here on Rumble and everything else, and I hope you share it out there. I know if you're watching on Facebook, I appreciate you guys. I haven't done this in a while there, but there's one more UFO that has been getting everybody's attention lately. I don't know if you guys have seen it. If you're in these UFO groups, and there's this one UFO that's been spotted in Russia. It's been spotted in different countries. It's been spotted in Spain. And then Arizona, and then Colorado, right? Colorado just put out this thing that there's during this concert, this craft appeared, and they could see 3 levels inside of this craft. It was a disc-shaped craft before it disappeared. So this is this new photo that popped out on Facebook of a UFO group. Somebody grabbed this photo, this still, and I zoomed in and I did my analysis, right, for you guys, for everybody out there, so that way you don't have to do it. I did it for you already. And if you want to go into it deeper, you can. But I'm going to show you this 3-level craft of what it was, right? This was in I don't know if it was in Utah or let me see where, Nevada. So it's been seen in Nevada, Colorado, Russia, everywhere. The same looking craft, UFO. So I'm going to bring it up on state on the video. So everybody's been seeing this green out there in audio world. It's a green craft, right? That is illuminating this circle that has a circle of light. So what I did was I brought the contrast, what you just saw me do, and I started zooming into this thing, right? So there I go, zooming in deeper and deeper, as close as I could, after I did the contrast and the detail and everything to it, right? You could see the occupants inside of this craft. Look, right there. One's looking to the right, one's looking dead ahead, and one's looking a little bit to the left. These are extraterrestrial beings that are inside of this craft as it's going by. These are the windows. And I'm not blowing smoke. I'm showing you. The first photo was the original photo. After I did all this to it, cropped it, brought it in, I started, as I zoom in more and more and more, you can actually see the shapes of their heads of these extraterrestrials that were inside of this craft. I always talk to you about these pilots, right? Here they are, right here. Just like that UFO, that famous UFO in Turkey. You can make out that there is 3 extraterrestrial beings inside of this craft as it's going by. And if this doesn't show you proof, and I'm glad they grabbed that photo of this thing that was going by, so that way you guys can see that these things, it goes deeper than we really want to admit. I want proof. I want proof. This is what they say, the scientists. Hey, man, I wish I could tell these things to land, right? And, get out and show you, but we can't. This is the best proof that we have that these things have been around here, and they're above our skies, and they visit our people, and they take our people as well. And, they bring them back or do whatever. But what I'm showing you here today is the proof that these things are real, right? And I'm not blowing smoke. These are videos and photos from all over the world that all I did was bring them into a better visual spectrum so you can see what I'm talking about here. So people don't think that we're all wearing a tinfoil hat or we're crazy, right? Because it's not what it is, right? And if that's not proof enough, I don't know what is, right? Just like this other one here. Inside of an orb, right? What does this, right? How much more do you want? Right? I love this, by the way. Cindy Grigsby says, all the way, yes. I mean, how much more do you want? Cindy Grigsby out there in Portageville, Missouri, by the way. She gets a lot of really good footage out there. She's an ASDP representative as well. And, we all do good work. Everybody does. This is why they're on board with us as a community. We are citizen ufologists, and that's what we are. We don't have a degree, or you can't get a degree in it. There's just no way. We are citizen ufologists learning, exploring, and giving you the physical proof by these images, videos, things that we catch with our own phones and things like that. So you guys can understand and relate to where we are, right? So that way, when you see the next, government video, we're not full of crap, right? And that's what it is. And that's the important part, whether we're talking about Bigfoot, whether we're talking about these extraterrestrials or, cryptid things, whatever out there, these things have an agenda, right? And I talk about it so much because I want you to be aware that we can't be fully immersed into what they are, yes, but it's keeping your distance in a sense, right? And this is what I'm trying to do here. Just show you I'm showing you exactly what I speak, and I want you guys to be aware of what you're seeing in the skies sometimes. And if you don't know anybody that doesn't understand, if you know people that doesn't understand it, point them to Alien Strand Podcast, because I'm going to, with all my podcasts, even in audio, I will show you exactly what everything is, even with my guests on or anybody that's out there. If you want to be a guest on my show, please call me or get on the show. I'd love to have you guys. George Heather says, I saw Bigfoot in the 90s. Yes, you actually put a nice paragraph on your encounter, which was amazing. Thank you for putting that out there for us to read. You know, they had a really cool encounter, and it's on one of my posts. I'll see if I can add it on there. Now, anything that I'm showing here or from the films, you'll see a description. It'll say all my links. Click on that. That'll take you to all the social pages of Alien Strand Podcast. It'll take you to the web pages, the movies, the books, all that good stuff. You know, because we're out here to help and to get out as much information as possible, right? And just like you saw me break all this stuff down, you know, I'm trying to get as much as I can out there to everyone. And I wish that people could be more, you know, kind of forthcoming and you know, accepting these things of what they are, right? They're real, man. These things are as real as they are. Nothing's going to change that. Don't forget, tomorrow's podcast, Alien Connection, The Visit, with Jessica Tisme. So she'll be on the podcast tomorrow. It'll be kind of early, all right? So it won't be a late one like this one. But, because you got kids, you got to put them to sleep, all that good stuff. But we're going to do a live podcast, and we're going to show you the proof just like I showed you today. And like I said, I hope you guys really enjoy the content that I'm giving out here today. And I hope you guys see the middle part 2 that's out right now, you know. And, you know, it's very informative, and it's these people's stories of what you're seeing here. Everything that I showed you, man, is on there. And their stories on the middle 2 on Amazon Prime. Go check it out. On another note, those that are going to, I don't know if you've been seeing the commercials I've been throwing out for the conference in Florida. Unfortunately, I will not be able to make that. They're still going to show my film there, but I'll probably do like a video introduction to it, so you guys can, you know, at least hear that. I had some other stuff pop up, and it's personal stuff. I can't make it out there, but I wish I could have, you know, at least meet some folks out there. That would have been amazing. I've been throwing the commercials out for you guys to go see this. It's an amazing conference. I wish I could have gone there in person, but at least my film will be playing there, right? For the people that have paid and been, it's a 3-day event, man. 3 days. You're going to hear all kinds of people talk and speak and show all their evidence, right? Just like I showed you here today. All right. So again, thank you guys for watching me ramble here a little bit today. And I hope I learned you a little bit, teach you something about UFOs and about how to use your cell phones, right? On how to do your self-analysis, right? Hey, everybody can do it. Right. And I hope I showed you some stuff that you've never seen before in a different sense, right? In a visual sense, to get more out of what you're seeing up in the skies. And that's what Alien Strand Podcast is about, right? That's why we're here on Rumble, man. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitch. We're on X. We're on Facebook too. I can't believe they let me go on Facebook right now. What? Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts. Oh, wow. It is what it is, man. You know, what do you do? What do you do? You got to make people as happy as possible. I'm happy. We're all happy. Hey, let's just be a happy bunch of people, right? Let's just do that, right? Remember, man, just be sure, be good to one another, be happy out there, give much love to everybody out there, help people out as much as you can. I know it's hard these days, it's hard, but try to help people, even if it's an emotional or verbal, whatever. Be nice, be good, So Christmas is coming. Be good for goodness sake, man. Santa Claus is going to be coming to town here pretty soon. I hope he comes in real soon. You know why? Because it's too hot down here, man. Oh, wow. These hurricanes are horrible. Yeah. George says, thank you for letting people know about everything. Hey, man, that's right. Even what they were talking about. I appreciate all of you guys out there that are watching. Like I said, please catch us on all these podcasts. We're live on audio right now. Thank you for listening on Spreaker. It'll be on Spotify, all these. If you want to listen to it later on, hey, it's there. Just give us some thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up on this podcast if you really enjoyed it. And like I said, tomorrow, don't forget to catch me tomorrow. I'll put a definite time. I believe it's 5 or 6. I might have confused myself, but it's going to be a Central Time, 5 or 6. It'll be early. And you better catch that podcast. It's going to be a really nice one, really good one, as we talk to Jessica and we get this information out about what's happening to her ever since she spotted these UFOs. Man, it's going to be a good one. You got to see it. All right. But until then, you guys have yourselves a good day. Have yourselves a good evening. And have yourselves a good night. We'll see you later. Alien Strand Podcast. Give me a like. Bye.